Okay, we've got a tornado in northeast Louisiana right now, just south of Interstate 20. We've got a couple of chasers over here in Tallulah in the Richmond area reporting power flashes back southwest now. This tornado is on the ground, tornado warning. You see the couplet there. It's about 9 miles southwest of Tallulah, and there is lots of 18-wheelers and stuff there in town. Stop at the Love's gas station, but they are confirming tornado on the ground now, south of 20. This is going to be in northeast Louisiana. Tornado warning is in effect by the Jackson office here in Mississippi. This is just over the river, Mississippi River, just west of Vicksburg in northeast northeast Louisiana. Tornado's getting ready to cross the interstate as it's moving up toward the interstate. It's about 7.5 to 8 miles now, south-southwest of Tallulah, moving up toward that location. And a number of chasers reporting numerous power flashes now south of Interstate 20. This is a damaging tornado in progress. This storm has had a history of producing damaging tornadoes back west, about 50, 70 miles with injuries about an hour ago. This storm is recycled again and is continuing to produce damaging tornadoes. Let's go in here and look at the reflectivity. And this is that big supercell that is continuing to move up to the northeast. It's rocking at about 50, and this storm is, you look at the couplet there, very insane couplet right now, and there it goes. It's moving closer and closer. I think it's probably about 7 miles now. Let's see how far it is from the interstate. That's about 8 miles from the interstate, but confirmed reports, tornadoes on the ground, south of the interstate, and it's moving toward the interstate. It's about 20 miles, 25 miles west of me here, and I'm debating whether to peel north out of Vicksburg and catch it just north of Vicksburg, the interstate here, or go across the Mississippi and maybe I catch it at Mound, between Mound and Richmond. But it looks like it's going to hit very close to Richmond right now, and it'll jog to the left, a little bit to the northeast, and then it'll jog back to the right. But this current tornado warning, they'll upgrade it here in a minute with the power flashes and reports coming in from chasers out there. The tornado warning was issued a few minutes ago, and that includes Madison County and Louisiana and Warren, Mississippi, and Escaguana, Mississippi. Can't pronounce that one. National Weather Service Jackson issued a tornado warning for Madison Parish in northeast Louisiana and northwest Warren County and west central Mississippi. Severe thunderstorm located with producing tornado was located about 7 miles southeast of Bakers, 16 miles east of Winsboro, and that's the area where they had damage while ago. $20.5 size hail, radar indicated, but I've got a lot of reports of tornado ongoing now south there. It's going to cross the interstate up here. I'm going to cross, go ahead and go west, but this storm has had a history of damage earlier. Look at the couplet. Tornado's ongoing now. Look at the couplet's actually intensifying. So it might barely miss a town until it's one of these things where it jogs, right? Sometimes when these tornadoes weaken, if they weaken, they can do this, right? As they weaken, as we saw down at Wichita Falls this year, or it could track just like that. So right now it's got to be very close to Richmond. Tell you, there's apparently quite a bit of truckers and stuff on the interstate from what chasers are telling me. But this is Interstate 20 right here, extreme northeast Louisiana. Tornado warning, tornado confirmed on the ground now. Southwest here with power flashes. It's about 7 miles southwest of Richmond, moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour roughly. There's probably rain right. There's some hail moving in. It's almost got a donut hole back there. And right there it is. And let's see if we can get a CC, if we get any good dropout. It's probably a rural area, so I don't know what we're going to see out there as far as it's not into housing and stuff as you get up in this area. You're going to get in houses and structures. So we may have damage if it continues to tornado and that couplet continues, it moves over this area where we have, this gets more houses and buildings and restaurants and gas stations as we get up on the interstate. You see a number of chasers here just southwest of Richmond watching the tornado moving northeast up toward Interstate 20. And right now we're just about to cross the Mississippi into northeast Louisiana here as we're continuing westbound. Let me look at something else here. Yep. When an outflow boundary go over us earlier and then went back north, the other couple looks very impressive. Get an update here again and see what we've got here. We've got some power flashes, got something going on up ahead with police units. I don't know if he's on the left or right. That looks pretty serious. I've got law enforcement up here ahead of me. I don't know if I've got something's happened in front of me here. I'm going to get over. I can't tell if it looks like he's on the left-hand side, so we may have some blown over trees or something going over here. This is on, okay, I have a car wiped out. Okay, I'm going to slow down. Somebody's hydroplane and wiped out. The car is, this is westbound 20. Looks like I got a state trooper here now. He was back west. It looks like a car just hydroplane and probably wiped out. That's what happened. The water has been very intense rains. We've had some 50, 60 mile an hour winds. That's just a car hydroplane and wiped out. There in the center median. This is westbound 20. That's going to be just east of Mound. Tornado couplet continues. Tornado warning continues. And it still looks like the pretty strong gate to gate. And that's going to maybe just barely go south and east of Tallulah. Might go just south of Richmond there as well. So it's going to be very close if it hits them or not, as it continues to track off to the northeast. And we have had other tornadoes over the area. We'll go back northeast here. There's tornadoes earlier up here. Columbus, I think they had some pretty intense tornado circulation back here earlier, about an hour ago. And I don't know if it did damage. That was the tornado earlier. You can see how bad this was a really bad one in Columbus. That was in extreme eastern Mississippi. You see that tornadic storm right there. It tracked off into western Alabama. It's now severe, and you got other tornadoes. This is a tornadic storm that we started off down here at Macomb, went east, produced tornadoes all evening long, and now it's back southwest of Meridian. Still tornado, and this thing's been tornadoing for about 5 hours now, roughly. And it tracked all the way across southern Mississippi. Macomb did a number of damage, still tornadoing, and now it's rapidly moving northeast. That one, and then we got this one down here at Meridian. It's still ongoing too. This is the one that tracked earlier from southern Mississippi, and it's now just south of Meridian, still tornadoing. So I've had a lot of tornadoes in the area, and we still got a tornado back to my west here. So we're going to watch these storms, and we'll bring you another update and see if this tornado misses these two cities immediately west of me. The couplet is very strong now. I would say tornadoes in progress. I'm going to go ahead and go west and see if we can't intercept the tornado now coming out of northeast Louisiana. I'm about to cross the Mississippi. I'm going to go westbound on 20, and I'm going to cross into northeast Louisiana here, and I'm going to see if we can't see this tornado as it crosses. It may or may not make its power flashes here as it crosses. I mean, got a big storm up there. Let me see if I can get you guys on this. Let me get you mounted here on a couplet here. Just bear with me here. And you guys can just stay with me, and I'm going to put you on the windshield and where you guys can watch it, okay? Just stay with me and get all this mounted here. It's dark, it's dim. Watch the traffic, and here we go. That way I can drive safe, and you guys can watch it carefree, and everybody's safe, right? So we're going to continue westbound. We're crossing, getting ready to cross the deal. Tornadoes on the ground now. It's got to go into the south side of Richmond. I'll just do play-by-play here for you. Looks like tornadoes in progress now. South of Richmond. I'm going to call somebody here. So I will let that go. And it is definitely ramped up again on the Velocity couplet. Yeah, tornadoes now. Just do play-by-play here. Tornado now from Richmond. It's 5 miles southwest of Richmond. It looks like tornadoes in progress on the ground. 5 southwest of Richmond. And waiting for CC. It's just the CC is kind of really light. Again, when there's rural areas, sometimes you get really good signature that you've got a debris signature, and other times it's not so much, right? It's in fall time. You got a little bit of leaves still on the trees here, but a lot of that stuff is fallen, and unless it starts hitting something major, and it's going to start moving into more populated areas. So we may see the CC ramp up. But this storm is definitely coming in south of Richmond now. I'll just keep looking at data here as it pulls in. There we go. I may finally actually have CC now. Let's see if we can go confirm. Well, I've got a big time CC dropout. Yeah, this thing's going to be really close. It looks like it's going to go barely south of Richmond, Louisiana, on the interstate. Of course, about to go over the interstate. It's going to go, I think, just barely. Yeah, I got a donut hole on the radar. Got a donut hole showing a strong indication tornado in progress. Going to be about 4 miles southwest of Richmond, moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour. It's going to cross the interstate in about 4 minutes now. Don't know if I'll be lucky enough to see it from this far away. Depends. I've gotten away from the other precip and the storms, but don't know if I'll be able to see it or not. Been about 10-15 miles away. Do have a really nice donut hole on the radar. Very impressive donut hole off the Jacksonville radar. Wow. Can't watch the stream with you guys, but just trust me that this thing is very intense. Again, still not across the interstate, but it's about to cross the interstate soon. I'm gonna see what my road options are as I get east here. They're not many, I can tell you that for sure. Okay. For the tornado, I'm only about 12 miles from the tornado now. I'm 12 miles from the tornado. Okay. Yeah, not a lot of chances to go north, to be quite frank, because you're running the Mississippi River. There's no way to cross over. I can either do it at Vicksburg and go north here, or go and just go over the river and see if I can see it coming into Barnes, southeast side. Yeah, Barnes, a ton of Barnes, which is immediately to the southeast of Richmond. Richmond and Barnes, those two towns, they're liable to get hit by this tornado. It is very close now to just south of Richmond now. Yep, still south of Richmond. Yep. Wow. So I'll have a donut hole off the Jacksonville radar. Wow. Wow. So gate to gate. See how far it is south of the interstate. Looks like the tornado is approximately 3 miles, maybe 2.5 to 3 miles. About 2.5 to 3. South of the interstate, showing all kinds of gate-to-gate dropouts, inbound, outbound. Probably about 3 minutes away, roughly 3 minutes away from across the interstate. So I crossed the interstate about 10, 12 miles in front of me here. And again, I don't know if I'm going to see it or not. May not. Only if it starts hitting, power flashes and going over to Mississippi here. Tornado circulation is rapidly intensified. We have probably now a strong tornado now in progress south of Richmond. They'll have just going to say we have a strong damaging tornado now south of Richmond. The velocity couplings have intensified just south and east of Richmond. Very strong coupling now, very strong. Looks like we have a significant tornado now just about 2 miles southeast of Richmond, due south of Richmond. It's going to miss Tallulah. It's going to go just south and east of Richmond now. I got a tornado warning emergency coming in. All my phones are going off. Yep. Okay. Extremely strong tornadic signature now. Oh my. Yep. Yeah, it's coming in. It's going to go on the southeast side of Richmond. It's coming in. It's getting about ready to cross the interstate. Watch ahead, guys, to see if we see power flashes. Got all my cameras going. Got it high up here. It's about 2 miles south of the interstate. Now there it is, 2 miles. It looks like it's about to go over the interstate now. The couplet gate to gate's going over the interstate as we speak. Okay. Yep, it went just southeast of Richmond. It's going to go just northwest of Mound. It's right over the interstate right now. I'm gonna be a little bit too far from it to see it, looks like. Tornado is crossing Interstate 20 at northeast Louisiana, excuse me. Just southeast of Richmond. Tornado in progress. Yep. Got a donut hole on the radar. Extremely impressive. It's going just southeast of Richmond. Might be able to see some power flashes up here. I'm getting real close. I'm 9 miles from the tornado. Keep watching. See if you see the tornado. Look to the right of the road. Look to the right of the road. The tornado. It's going to be 8 miles of closing, so we might be able to see it up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to concentrate it more to the right of the road. The tornado's going to be right in front of me now, about 7 miles in closing. Should be over the road, over the interstate, or just cross the interstate. Wait for the radar to catch up. Should be just north of the interstate now. Barely. So I have a very strong tornadic signature just southeast of Richmond and west of Mound. I'm looking for power flashes. I see a big inflow wedge cloud off to my west-northwest going into the storm. Don't see the tornado yet. Okay, tornado just crossed. It's now past the interstate. It's like 2 miles northeast of Richmond now. Tornado's now across the interstate. See all the 18-wheelers parked off the side of the road here. They're at the rest stop like they normally do. Tornado now, it missed Tallulah and it missed Richmond. Barely. It looks like it went on the southeast side. We'll see if there's damage up here. So waiting to see if I get any big power flashes cutting through the countryside. I'm looking really hard. About 6 miles in closing. I see a lot of good structure. I'm turning the windshield wipers off now. I see a lot of good structure over to my west. Basically going to head up into the Mississippi River Delta area, which are very little roads and no crossovers nearby, so it's going to go to no man's land real quick. Again, do not see the tornado, but okay, I got a bunch of people on the interstate. Let me switch. Okay, there's the storm back just to the west. I got a bunch of people on the interstate. Let me see if it just turned red. Stand by. Go to another map. Takes a few minutes. Okay, there is a exit ramp up here, bars I can take if the road, if any 18-wheelers got flipped on the road. I'm not saying there is or isn't, but I'm just saying that circulation went past the road. Wow, heavy cloud of ground. Looks like the tornado is now about 1 mile north of the interstate. Maybe 2 miles. It's about 1.5 miles north of the interstate now. It's just to my right, guys. It's not very far from me now. Tornado's now 4 miles to my northwest. 4 miles northwest. Right there where that lightning bolt is, guys. I'm turning the camera to the northwest so we can see the tornado if it's on the ground. Tornado is now probably 3.5 miles to my northwest, west-northwest, not very far. Well, we should easily be able to see it. There's no rain between me and the tornado. We should easily be able to see the tornado. If it's, you know, power flashes or anything like that. Somebody's calling me, but I can't answer the phone right now. Sorry. A lot of people are flashing lights at me. I'm assuming something's happened ahead. Babe, I'm live streaming right now. It's Kathy calling me. Want to know what's going on? I'm in Northeast Louisiana. We'll see if there's damage up here. Obviously, still cars coming westbound, so the couplet has weakened dramatically on the last volume scan.